which was for the past 2 games now, I think against Liverpool, I believe, or some other team, Pep Guardiola has played Raheem Sterling central and has played wingers left and right of him, with Kevin floating in as number 8 and Bernardo. So let's for a moment just imagine that that's Erling Braut Haaland playing central against Liverpool, who like to play a high line. Now recognize that Erling Braut Haaland's pace is probably the second fastest, even not the fastest number 9 in the world right now. Nobody's faster than him as a number 9. Not Benzema, not Lewandowski, certainly not Lukaku. He is the fastest number 9. And against those teams that play a high line and with Kevin's passes, I don't see anybody keeping this guy under wraps. He is a penalty box robot. I watched these clips again. For the people who are making the arguments that City somehow diminish in stature because now they have Erling Haaland, let me pose this question to you. What is City's greatest strength and our weakness? Our greatest strength is that we create chances. What's our current weakness? Why are we 10 goals behind Liverpool? Why? What's the reason?
Those chances?
Because we're not converting them. Correct, Vader, right? What's Erling Haaland's conversion rate in the box? You know what the ratio is? 98%. Which means that out of 100 shots on goal, he scores 98. Now, just for comparison to that, Raheem Sterling's conversion rate is about 45 or 40%. De Bruyne is probably around 50 or so. Mahrez, maybe 55. Okay? So if you address your greatest weakness, which is goal scoring, right? You're telling me that Erling Haaland somehow is going to diminish Manchester City's opportunity to win the league or perform next year?
Good point.
Smoking crack, man. Seriously.
The thing that I also want to chime in, and I know I'm not saying anything new to you two, and especially you, Carl, being a coach, but in particular, when you see the matches being played and you see Pep, and I often say he's a mad scientist, he's a genius. If you choose as the opposing team to take away something from us, then that means you expose something else.
Correct.
So if you're now choosing as a team to play a high line, i.e. Liverpool, you're going to give opportunity for Haaland to attack the back line. Now, if you choose not to play as high of a line against us with Erling Haaland, then you leave more gaps in the midfield. And what do we show? We show we have control in the midfield. So you're giving up one thing, but you're going to be killed with another thing. And I'm excited to see the chess match that happens between these teams. And for people to think that now with a deep back line, that's going to negate the addition of Haaland, you're crazy. Well, you're crazy because we still made chances when playing a Sterling at 9 against a deep line. We still created chances.
And David, to your point, against a deep line, okay, what does Manchester City normally do against a deep line? What do we do? What's our nickname that they call us? They call us Crosschester City, correct?
Yeah.
That we just cross the ball. And Patrick is very familiar with this. Patrick makes fun of us sometimes we just cross the ball into fight with 2 midgets, right? We're trying to
cross and inshallah, yeah.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, right, you have a 6'4" robot in there, right, against the average center back for any team is probably 6'1", and you're crossing the ball. What do you think is going to happen against a deep block? They're going to have to change the way they play because they know they got this giant who's going to head the ball into goal. Oh, and by the way, he can actually score with his feet up in the air, upside down if he wants to, because I've seen him do it in the Bundesliga. Mm-hmm. So just for people's understand this, right? This signing, if it does come, and I think it's going to come, is not just good for football for City. It's actually good for the Premier League. I can guarantee you, right, Patrick, that the Premier League production people, the boss of the Premier League, are saying, wow, we want this guy to be at the Premier League. Yes, we are afraid that City is going to dominate, but the amount of eyes and revenue and TV rights and revenue this guy's going to bring to the Premier League is going to be phenomenal. It's a win-win for not just the club. It's a win-win for the CFG. It's a win-win for the Premier League organization. Rival fans won't like it because they know that all of a sudden they have another problem to worry about.
Oh,
And by the way,
that's speaking. Now he's overrated. That's the reason why I talked to you before. I was like, that's saying he's overrated.
So
Some
Patrick,
people are saying he's paid. He's too expensive. So
okay.
Gunda, I'm gonna give you this chance. So go ahead.
We'll get to the numbers, right, real quick, and we'll talk about the numbers, right? But for anybody who says it's overrated, if a player scores 80 goals in 82 matches, right, and is overrated, you must be smoking crack, man. I'm sorry. You're either completely devoid of any common sense or you're just completely a hater. You're probably a hater. For this guy to play in this guy has 23 goals in 20 Champions League matches. Now, don't forget, Liverpool is in there as well, scored against them. PSG scored against them. Real Madrid scored against them. The only team he didn't score against was our dear old City.
Liverpool, he scored against them when he was playing for Salzburg.
Right? So you're telling me that a guy who scored 20 goals in 20 matches in the Champions League for 2 or 3 years, all of a sudden is overrated? Are we really serious?
Yeah, I wish there was a emoji or a font on Twitter that depicted banter. I wish that there was something to say, this is banter. I'm talking ridiculous, but it's what we do. Pretend we're in the bar and we're just talking back and forth. I wish there was a font for that. Unfortunately, there isn't. And it's hard to tell whether rivals are just trying to banter you or if they're trying to put out these facts. Because if it's facts that they're trying to put out, they come across like they don't know football at all.
Yeah.
They come across like the player that plays on their team exhibiting many of the similar traits is good, but because the player wears a different jersey, they're bad. And that's why I wish there was like a font or an emoji that said, guys, this is banter. Take it for what it is. I get triggered sometimes, and I need to take a step back.
So before you go, let me show you this. This is the ridiculousness. Here you go. That's the ridiculousness. So that's the ridiculousness that has started by media, newspapers. So this is what's happening now.
So this is Ricky Lambert that made this comment on TalkSport. This is Ricky Lambert. Now understand, Ricky Lambert is a failed Liverpool striker who ended up in Southampton and got kicked out. He's the most useless player that I know of. I don't even watch him. It was a waste. Right? It's in the days where Klopp kicked him out. For him to make the statement, right, is absolute nonsense. Look, if there's one thing everybody has complained about Manchester City this year and last year was our conversion rate in front of goal. We don't convert. We have Sterling 1v1, misses. Jesus 1v1, misses. Bernardo Silva now has to go and score a goal when he should be midfield. De Bruyne has to play false 9 and false 10 and false 6 and false 8 at the same time and score goals. Right? Phil Foden is the best left winger probably in the league. He has to now go play false 9 because we don't have a striker. We lack that number 9. All of a sudden, City, who you complain about don't have a number 9, can't win the league. We're going to be top of the league. You complain that they don't have now. They're getting Erling Haaland, probably the best number 9 in the world, probably younger in the world. You're saying, oh, he's going to make City worse. Does that really make any sense?
It makes absolutely no sense. And then another thing that people that know ball understand this. People that have played also understand this. Unfortunately, when we watch the games, it's one camera angle, right? You're not able to pick, okay, I want to see the action that happens on the back line. I want to see the action that happens in the midfield. Like most people are focused on the ball. Now, if we go back and watch the FA game when Grealish at times was playing at 9, you would see, and unfortunately, Grealish doesn't quite have the mindset right now to let it go, but you will see Fabinho giving him some nudges after the play or the ball's away, like tugging at him, pushing him. You'll see, and Van Dijk does this a lot and very well. He'll irritate the player who's playing at 9. He'll pull on them. He'll nudge them, elbow, all within the game. It's understood. When you're able to focus on that and you see how the defender pays attention to certain players can turn off. Players can actually not worry about a player like Sterling at times or Grealish at 9, even Foden at 9, because they know that really in terms of running down the channels, they're not that threat. That changes instantly once we have Haaland, because the center backs have to be on all the time. Not only will our midfield be looking to get him passes, but they need to be on all the time, because if he gets on the wrong shoulder of these center backs and that pass comes through, he's gone. They're not bodying him, and he puts his head down and he drives like he's a sprinter. They're not going to catch him if he has that step. So that's going to be another thing that players, opposing teams need to worry about. You can't just turn off because you no longer have a true threat at 9. We're going to pose so many different problems now.
Well, I mean, this headline here, Patrick, that you're sharing on the screen.
Yes, that headline.
What exactly? So, what is he warning us about? What exactly is he warning us about?
Apparently, according to what I've been seeing, first of all, there is German tax, which doesn't exist to me. I think it doesn't exist. Gundogan came from there. Sané came from Germany. And
where did De Bruyne come from?
Germany. So that's another thing that's really down the toilet. So what he's trying to say is, apparently, without a number 9, we're fluid. We play very well. But they forget that there was a season when we were on fire and we had Aguero. Remember? We had Aguero. And we were on fire.
And 98 points.
And you know where, City fans, I want you to watch Lewandowski when Pep was in Bayern. How many goals did he score? He scored 80 or something ridiculous goals. Like, he scored a big amount of goals for Bayern, and he was on fire. And he managed to use him, never benched him. So this whole thing of saying, oh, just because Haaland comes in, they're going to change the way they play. They're not going to be fluid. They're not going to. They're going to create chances that I can. So you see, it's nonsense. That's what I think.
Patrick, let me explain. There's one four-letter word that all this is all about. It's one four-letter word. It's called fear. That's it. When you begin to see these things kind of happen, you know it's about fear. They don't want the prospect of somehow a front three of Foden, Haaland, and Sterling. And then a midfield of Bernardo, Roger, and De Bruyne, where De Bruyne doesn't have to worry about playing false 9. All he's doing is controlling the midfield and passing those balls to Haaland, either in the air or on the ground, like 17-18. They don't want to worry about having Luis Diaz and Laporte next to them, and then Kyle Walker with his speed and Cancelo with his creativity. Imagine João Cancelo passing balls to Haaland from the left side with the outside of his right foot. They don't want to worry about that kind of stuff. They don't want to worry about having Julian Alvarez on the bench coming in and can play on the right side. He's also a second striker, which means you can play a 3-5-2 system that my friend Michael will talk about. They don't want to worry about that. They don't want to worry about the fact that you're going to probably have Chouameni or Calvin Phillips as a backup to Fernandinho when he comes in. They don't worry about, you may have a left back coming from Sporting that may come in for us. They don't want to worry about that. They don't want to worry about Cole Palmer, McAtee, and Delap, and all those guys who can be in the bench, who can come in to win the game. They don't want to worry about that kind of stuff. It's too much fear. And so they create these irrational thoughts that give you things like this. Man City warned that Ellen Housetrans will give them problems. What problem?
Can I give an example of a problem so you can answer?
My soapbox. Even without a striker, Patrick, my dear friend, without a striker, City have the right now can win the Premier League right now without a striker. You throw in Erling Haaland into the mix. You think you can lower the standards? Will it get worse? I don't know, Patrick. Over to you, man.
Okay, no. I'm going back to you before I go to Veta, because I was about to give you one issue. So another issue, because I'm going to just be giving you the issues. You guys can answer. Veta, Gundo, you can jump on. Another issue is he's getting paid so much. It's ridiculous. 500K, I hear, or 400, or the same as De Bruyne. De Bruyne. So they say that now, because he's getting paid a bit much, what's going to happen is there's going to be disruption in the dressing room. So before you answer this, guys, I'm just going to bring you a graph of the payment. This is what I found online anyway. Whatever I search, this is what I find. So this is our pay structure so far. There it is right now. So they say when Haaland comes in and gets that, I don't know if he's going to get the same as De Bruyne or the 500 he's going to get. Apparently, it's going to cause a lot of disruption in this dressing room. So I'm going to scroll down first. I'm going to scroll down. I want you to look at De Bruyne's money. Then I want you to look at Jack, who just came in, and nobody cared when Jack came in. He got 300. I didn't hear anybody complaining in the dressing room. But I want you to look down at the bottom where there's Foden, who's still on 12. I'm pretty sure he's getting a bumper contract, isn't he? Yes. Foden is on 12 because I think he was an academy prospect. That's what happens when they give you a contract from the academy. Now, Zinchenko is on 20. Stefan is on 46. Cancelo is on 80, who's one of the ballers, one of the best ballers we have. And then we won't mention his name. Then Jesus is on 90. Nathan Ake, 92. So Nathan Ake came on 92 while Jesus was still in the team at 90. So apparently, if Haaland comes in, looking at this graph over here, if Haaland comes in, he's going to cause a lot of disruption because of the wages. So Veta or Gundo wants to answer this. Do you think that Haaland coming into City, getting 500k a week, is going to cause issues in this dressing room that has got
you go first.
That are the same?
Veta, you go first. Patrick, I sent you a file. Get ready to upload it too.
So one thing that's important when you look at the entire list and the players that have come in, we have to recognize if you're English coming into the team, we understand how there's some finesses that need to happen with regards to some weekly salaries. But when you have the talent and you have the production that you've already warranted from wherever you came from, that dictates what you're going to be able to negotiate coming into the team. These players themselves understand he has the previous production. That's why he's dictated this salary. I myself want to increase my weekly salary. I do it on the pitch and I renegotiate. So I like the motivation with regards to what this establishes, because it establishes if I want more, I do more, right? Like that's always been the team dynamic within sports. We're not surprised at that. It's no different than any other sport. If you're a player on the bench, if you're a player on the bench, you don't get playing time. You want playing time, you improve. You want more salary, you improve. It's that simple.
Yep. The goal scorer, by the way, let me just add a bit of salt. Every time every team in the world, even if it's championship, guess what? The highest paid player is always the striker. Why? Because he scores goals. Anyway, go ahead.
So there are two parts of this discussion. And guys, we'll talk about
the lineup is we'll talk about after Gundo.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about Team U, right? But let's wrap this thing up, right? So understand two things, okay? Number one, what is Erling Haaland's release clause? His release clause apparently is about 64 million pounds, correct? Which is basically lower than what Rodri got in his release. We got him for 60 million pounds. How much is Erling Haaland worth in the market? We're talking probably 150, maybe 200 right now. 21-year-old.
If we're being honest with this market, Haaland is worth 200.
Correct.
If we're being honest. Yeah.
So we have an equity gap of almost 135 million pounds valuation equity that we have on this kid, right? And so all of a sudden you're saying, oh, he's going to upset the dressing room. Who's going to be upset in the dressing room?
Yeah, look at the dressing room already.
Is De Bruyne going to be upset that all he has to do now is pass the ball to Erling Haaland? Is Bernardo Silva going to be upset that he's earning 400k? Or Jack Grealish going to be upset? Who? Is it Zinchenko that's going to be upset? Because Zinchenko already is earning 20k and De Bruyne is earning 400. Or let's see, let's say Ruben Diaz earns what, 110? De Bruyne earns 400. Is he going to be upset? This myth, this crazy, stupid myth about dressing room being upset is a dinosaur mentality. I'm sorry, out there. You don't understand how things work in life, right?
We also have to understand.
You're getting perhaps the second best striker in world football at this point, and you're worried that the dressing room, who've been crying for a striker, are going to be upset with his wages. If they're upset, let's sell him and bring somebody else in. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
the guy you pay 60 million pounds for, he's worth 150. You're paying 380, 400. All of a sudden, the dressing room is going to be upset. Who? We just absolutely makes no sense.
Here's where I'm gonna slightly disagree. It is going to disrupt the changing room. It is going to disrupt the players, but it's on other teams. Quote unquote, the number one player in the world right now has a contract pending for how many weeks, how many months. And what that fan base have been told for months and months and months is we can't give this number one player in the world the contract that he's asking for. It's going to disrupt the changing room. It's going to break our salary structure, our wage structure. We can't do it. So that's where this is going to disrupt, because they've been brainwashed, or the propaganda has been so heavy that it's now believed over there.
Yeah, you're right. Because a certain player who's asking for 400k that they want to give him, all of a sudden this changes the dynamic, because the City are giving this guy 400 or 380. Why am I not worth that amount? It disrupts the opposition, which is part of what the club are trying to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Before we go to the lineup, do you have that sheet that we talk about wages? What we talked about in November? I just want to show everybody. So there's a couple of guys out there. I sent it to you in WhatsApp. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, bear with me for a minute. I'm gonna load it up.
So just as Patrick is loading this, so there's a lot of folks out there who's saying that, oh, how can we predict what was going to happen? How do we know what the exact numbers are? So allegedly, what we're hearing from sources such as Paul Ballas is that the wages are around 380, 360. Agents fees are around 30, 40 million, with the transfer fee for 64 million, right? Now, just to be very clear, what we're going to show you is not what we created today. What we're going to show you is what we talked about last November 2021. What Patrick, myself, Ade talked about almost 6 months ago, where we broke the whole transaction down and said, if this is going to happen, City have to make what we call make Haaland an offer they cannot refuse. So you're going to share it? Okay, here it is. Okay, this was from last November. We said we know that his release clause is about 64 million pounds, right? And we said the hypothetical wages per week for Haaland should be around 385. And what we're hearing right now is that that's actually the amount that they're trying to pay. That amount, 385, 360, maybe 390, close to De Bruyne, not up to De Bruyne, which is around 20 million a year. Now, I understand that Haaland actually makes 130 right now at Dortmund. So almost tripling his wages to come over here. That's why he's accepting this, because it's reasonable for his services, right? We said that the agent's fees is probably going to be around 30, 35 million or so. We put 30 million there. We're hearing from sources that it's about 30, 35 million euros for his dad and the agent.
Yeah.
Right, and understand that one of the reasons why this is this way is because in July, FIFA's new rule is that the agent cannot get more than 10% of the transfer fee. So if they wait till July, all of a sudden that 30 million goes to 6 million for both parent and agent. So it's in their interest to actually negotiate and agree to 30 million. We talked about the fact that we believe that in last year that his contract length is going to be how many years? 5 years. Why? Because you can amortize the transfer fee over that 5 years, which is basically 64 million divided by 5. Actually, it's actually a transfer fee. There's no amortization. It's straight cash. So there's no amortization of his transfer fee because it's a cash. It's a cash outlay. It's a transfer fee. So even with all this stuff, we said that if you compare him to Harry Kane, he's still cheaper than playing for Harry Kane last year. So when we see these numbers, guys, we talked about this last year. We did some analysis and we thought this is what is going to come out to. And what we're hearing is that it's exactly around this mark that we're looking at the deal for Erling Haaland.
Yeah, the video, if you want, it's called the case of the Man City case for Haaland. You can find it on Pitchpoint. You can also find it on True City Fan. Do you have anything to say better before we move to the lineup?
Yeah, I was going to say this is exactly why when the Haaland news comes out and you asked me earlier, was I surprised? It's no, because of videos and context and content like this. Like I came across this after being introduced to you guys, and then knowing this and now seeing what's happening today, I'm not surprised. I am excited for it, but I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So I'm gonna read some of your comments, and then we'll go into the lineup. Because sorry, guys, we haven't been reading your comments because you know yourself. Once we start discussing things, we always get into it. So I'm just gonna read a few of the comments that go into lineups. First of all, I'd like to welcome Big Morgan, Charlie. You've been with us, Daniel, Alex. How you doing, man? Michael, how you doing, man? Daniel, how you doing? So, guys. Tonight's lineup is up, and okay, everybody's saying the same thing. So the lineup is up, guys, and this is the lineup. As you can see, I'm pretty sure you can see. I'm just going to put it also at the bottom so that you can be able to see. That's the lineup over there. Let me put it through pitch points. There you go. That's the lineup over there, and so basically we have Edison in goal. We have John Stones. We've got Laporte as the two centre backs. Then we have my man Nethanake. Kyle, keep holding that corn. Nethanake at left back, and Cancelo and at right back. We have Rodrigo, who's also known as Rodri, as the CDM, and we've got Gundogan as the captain, and then we've got Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, and De Bruyne. So basically, it seems like I don't know what the front is. What the hell this front is? Is Bernardo Silva back playing as a winger? because we know Bernardo Silva can actually cook as a winger. Mahrez is in, so I'm gonna give it up to you guys. Do you want me to?
Vader, go ahead.
Do you want me to after you've seen this lineup? Do you want me to bring up the lineup setup and see if we can set up a sort of a lineup using?
Yeah, let's set it up. Let's do lineup setup.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
and I think the way we crack this code, and I'm learning this, is that if you want to crack this
Daniel,
code,
De Bruyne's feet. Yeah.
If you want to crack this code, Vader, I think we always start with the front three. Because that'll tell us everything else happening.
Yeah,
start with the front three, the rest will fall in place.
I agree.
So
it's also funny too because the mad scientist that Pep is, we've seen many different iterations of Bernardo sometimes in the game playing false nine. Foden obviously, De Bruyne obviously. I don't think so much this year.
Is Foden on the bench? He is, isn't it?
Foden is on the bench. I
don't see him.
I don't think he's on the bench.
I
thought Foden was starting.
Let me go back.
Foden is there. Foden's there, please. He's starting.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I didn't see that. Oh no, Foden is. Oh, I see, because the thing went down there. Foden is there. So now it makes sense. Yeah, keep going. So Bernardo is not playing now. Go ahead.
So I mean, we've seen so many different iterations of the team and different players playing a false nine, but I think we may see a traditional, I'm gonna use air quotes here, traditional Mahrez right, De Bruyne at false nine, Foden on the left, and then Gundo and
Bernardo
Silva in the midfield with the support of Rodri. I think, but we know that there could be some switches easily. So I don't know. What do you think?
Do you know who gives me nightmares in that Brighton team? Who? Somebody who I want. If we ever, I don't know if we will ever look at him. Lamptey. This kid Lamptey is talented. Have you seen Lamptey, Carl?
He's talented, but he's also inconsistent, right? I mean, one good game, one bad game. So that's and it's young players who's going to happen. That's how young players are. Young kids are inconsistent. That's the reality of who they are.
Trossard isn't playing good for us. Trossard. Oh, that's the guy who scored the goal against us. Yeah, Trossard. Yeah, he's not playing. Yeah, Trossard gave us a bit of issues. Remember that time when we lost to them 2-1? We were actually winning 1-0, I think, so that time. Trossard gave our team a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, the boys have to do it regardless, to be honest. Okay, I'm ready with the setup. So
let's do setup.
Yeah, great. I've gone back to this one because it's easier. This and that one is more complete, so we can move around pieces. So guys, it's quite simple. Edison is in goal, isn't it? So we're just going to go straight with
I think he's in goal for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid who's playing for Ireland, is it Banzuno?
Banzuno.
Oh, he's very good with his feet.
He's good.
and he's a shot stopper. And even Trashford.
The only problem is that I don't know if we can bring him back because he has to get game time. He wants to play. He's not going to play if he's on the bench for City.
Oh, right? Did you hear his challenge though? The kid has guts. Remember what I told you since last months ago. He said he's gunning for Edison's position. He said it. And do you remember when I told you that he said he's gunning for Randolph's position in Ireland? He got it. Then he said he's gunning for your man's position where he's on loan. He got it. Now he says he's gunning for Edison's position. That's what I love. I love kids like that who are after something,
Yeah,
let's do it. You have to set targets.
So obviously it's Laporte this side. The back obviously is easy to do, to be honest.
Is it though?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Why isn't Stones playing right back? Cancelo playing left back.
And Ake down the middle. I think Ake's gonna be left back.
You're right, though. You're right.
Look at Veta trying to throw spanners in the work.
Listen, Veta, you have a point there, man.
Who knows? Who knows with Pep?
Yeah,
right?
but I doubt it. A feet stones, and Ake who's balling at left back.
I agree.
Yeah, Lamptey is a good right back. I would take him if there was a right back. I'm looking at Lamptey because why am I interested in him? Because he's fast, he can defend, and he's very technical, and that's something I think Pep would like the way he plays. But I see there's a few people who are already after him. Actually, teams in Spain are after him already.
Just go for Rich James, man. That's what we should just do. Piss off
Rich
Chelsea,
James for 70 million.
Just go after him, man.
Okay, so Rodri here, I'm pretty sure some of these are straightforward.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, everything is straightforward until we get to. So in the midfield is going to be Gundogan and Bernardo and Gundogan.
What do you think, Carl? Do you agree?
See, I don't even know, man, because Pep could play.
Do you think Bernardo false 9?
No, I don't like Bernardo false 9. I think Bernardo has to stay where he is. Bernardo has to stay where he is. There.
So who's playing next to Bernardo?
Probably going to be Gundogan. Probably, yeah. Let's keep it simple.
Are we anticipating that they're going to play, that they're going to have open play, or do you think they're going to?
They're gonna play at 3-5.
Brighton never backed the bus.
No, but they pack the bus differently though. They pack the bus with the ball. So what they do is that they play a medium block, but they try to keep possession of the ball and use the wing backs to attack you.
Okay,
that's what they try to do.
Harry says, "What do you think about the team?"
I'm happy with the 11. Yeah, I'm happy with this 11 for sure. And then also seeing who's on the bench.
I think that's what makes me happier. The bench. Yeah. To see Palmer in there, to see who else is in there again. We see some other kids are in there.
Vilton, don't you start. Vilton, don't start. Let me give it back to you. Congrats on Madrid doing the double this season. Okay, you're doing the double. And stop saying you're doing the quadruple next season. Look, he's trying to come here and throw his juju. So Pep wants Jan. Yeah, Jan is coming back for preseason. Hopefully he stays this time around. So okay, cool. So now the front. According to Daniel, he says it's quite simple. Foden, De Bruyne, Mahrez. He wants. I would take that. I would definitely take that.
You know, it won't surprise me if we see Foden, if we see Bernardo left, Foden through the middle, and then De Bruyne in midfield. It won't surprise me. It just
Bernardo left didn't work. It hasn't worked so far. He struggles at the left.
Yeah, and I feel it doesn't take advantage of the energy and the engine that he is.
He provides
right?
the midfield, yeah.
I think he's better be able to come to the ball.
Sorry, Peter, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
The reality is, guys, that front five are going to interchange back and forth like no man's business. That's the reality. We can lob this left side, right side, upside down. That front five are all going to interchange and each of these people will play a false 9 at some point in time. Remember the whole, when we talk about false 9, guys, and guys out there also in watching, it's not about a person, it's about a position. What it means is we're trying to create overloads on one side of the field so we can create the space for somebody to drop in. So we can overload the left side, play, have that number 9 and the number 11 on the left side, overload that side with Gundo, Rodri, De Bruyne, Foden on the left side. So there's a hole in the middle for somebody else to walk into and score a goal. That's the whole idea. The classic case of the false 9 is a game we played against Chelsea last season, where the first goal, De Bruyne and Foden, where they overloaded one side of the field and then somebody popped in and scored the goal. That's what the false 9 is about. It's not about persons, it's about the position on the field and creating space for someone to step in and score. And don't be surprised if Erling Haaland comes in, actually plays the false 9. Don't be surprised.
Okay, so cool. So what's the front? Do we just go, obviously Bernardo, what's his name? Let me read here from Charlie here. Let me actually read from Jaime. Says it's going to be fluid. I hope we score an early goal. Yeah, I hope so too. If there's an upset today, it will be Arsenal and Chelsea. Vilton again, back again. Pep
sorry, Arsenal have no chance, man.
City gonna batter Brighton minimum 3-0. Vilton, I know what you're doing. Charlie, I don't think the team will be like that, Patrick. Ake, centre back, Cancelo, right back, Stones, right back. I doubt Stones. Look, Vetter also said the same thing, but I doubt because
he's done it before.
Because look, I know he is, but our best for me, Stones at centre back, he's one of the best. There's no panic. It's just calm. And with Laporte, I doubted that. Ake has played left back for Netherlands. He was playing Netherlands left back for Koeman. Is it Roman Koeman? He was playing him. What's his name? Is it Roman Koeman? What's his name? That guy, the quiet. Yeah, he played left back over and over, and he also played CDM by the way. The same Nathan Ake plays as a defensive midfield. So Ake is more left back, and I know that he's also a centre back. But right now, I would rather have him there. I'm pretty sure they'll swap. If things are going bad, they'll swap.
To Vader's point, Patrick, whenever, and it's a good point he raises, right? Is it possible that that Stones may play right back because Walker's not ready for Watford? And so Pep wants to have the option to get Stones ready for that game again against Watford right back?
I don't know. Or maybe you can just have Nathan Ake continue. We can do a wager.
Remember, I mean, I'm not saying you should change the formation. I'm just saying, remember the game against when Stones played, I think it was Leeds, where they played
Brentford.
Right
Brentford. He was
and Leeds and Leeds too, right?
No, Brentford Ake was left back. Yeah, right. I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know. I'm thinking about well, this is what I'm thinking about, right? A team like Brighton, right? A team like Brighton. Who's Lamptey going to be attacking? Ake, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't you like to? I don't know. Wouldn't you like to take Cancelo away from Lamptey's side to not give him so much defensive work and put him on the other side so he can cook? Because what's going to happen is Lamptey attacks you. He attacks you. So if you take Cancelo away from the left, put him to the right, and leave Ake, because Lamptey has destroyed 4 backs. He's destroyed Rhys James. He's destroyed Trent. He's destroyed so many 4 backs. I'm just thinking anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, that's if he gets the ball right.
I expect to see his reaction today. The media talks too much. Let's get the number 1 spot. But yeah, you're right, Daniel. They have already been saying, City need to be perfect to finish, and Liverpool is the best team they've ever seen. Haaland,
Harry Mills, to your comment about Haaland will be so again, falseness is not about a person; it's about the position. If we can switch our minds around, it's not about a person; it's about the position.
Lallana is not there. That's another guy who cooked during the time when they beat us. Wow. Lallana was on one. Yeah.
So who's there then?
I don't know. Okay, as you're speaking, right? I'll be hunting for them.
So no bloody way.
No Basuma. So we'll go through.
We'll have to worry about Welbeck.
Wow.
No Basuma?
What?
No, Basuma's out. I know that for sure. He's hurt. He's been hurt for a few weeks now.
I'm not going to say.
So no Lallana, no Basuma, no Trossard.
We got to worry about Welbeck.
Yeah, somebody come just for rest in peace, Brighton. This team is getting pumped.
I hope so.
A professional win. That's going to be a professional win.
Front three Vader. Well, Patrick
I'm not falling for this. Remember this other time we got pumped by a team that wasn't perfect. Remember? It was during that we won the league already. I don't know if you remember. We already won the league, and the team was a disrupted team, right? Yeah, and people were like, "Oh, well, you're gonna pump them." This team just no.
If we're not fit to beat these guys today, we don't deserve to win the league.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just let's just call it, guys online. I call it spade. I don't mess around with all these tropes and trolling. If we can't beat Brighton today, we don't deserve to win the league. Liverpool deserve it. Period.
No, guys, I'm gonna just stop sharing. I'm gonna stop sharing this for a minute, and then I'm going to share the Brighton team. No Haaland in the Brighton team either. I'm just joking.
But we're as we move on to Brighton, I think the front three, Carlin and myself and Patrick, I think we agree that it's going to be Mahrez.
Oh my God! What a change team! Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Cool.
They've got. Are they injured? Oh yeah, no. Lallana is on the bench. Yeah, they look like they've changed their team. But anyway.
Yeah.
It's not a bad team, though. I mean, it's not a bad team because I know some of these guys. Veltman is, that this guy Moepu is decent.
Yeah, it's not on TV, Charlie. Yeah, it's not on TV. It's not on UK TV. We're gonna have
on UK TV.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find ways,
Oh my God, we get it. Vader, you get it right in Canada.
Yeah, I have my ways, but there's also the zone which shows EPL.
Yeah, we get it on Peacock. It's on, all the games are on channels here. All the games.
Is it on Peacock?
Yeah. It's on Peacock.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's so what's funny is sometimes based off of the sport network, they'll choose which they think is the bigger game. So one week I'll have, so for example, Champions League, I was able to see the first leg because it was on TV, but the second leg they showed the Liverpool versus Benfica. so I had to use my means and catch our game. Yeah.
Here in the US, we get everything, man. Everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find something more consistent with
we can talk. Let's talk offline. Yeah. There are ways we can Patrick.
We'll find something professional to watch this game on, because I see this. You see, this is oh Jesus Christ! This is the reason why some of us are reluctant to pay some of these networks. Now we have to start finding professional ways, you know, contacting our brothers in America to wire us to wire us channels. Anyway, so guys, this is the lineup for today, and a lot of people are like, even Charlie saying, okay, he says we're going to murder these Blues.
I hope so.
It is a different team from the great form that Brighton's been showing before, right? Because they obviously had Basuma in that.
Yeah, midfield. But without Basuma, they've still pumped Spurs away and Arsenal away. So guys, let's just do our best. As Carl, even and Vetter said, if we don't beat them, even especially this Brighton, that's this state, then we don't deserve to win the league. It's quite simple. We don't. If we don't beat anybody going forward, like our lineup of Watford, unfortunately, somehow deep down inside, I knew that schedule for Liverpool was easy, because some of those teams are ass, and Man United showed us how ass they are.
Patrick, I couldn't believe my eyes, and it's not even about the tattoo. It was just terrible, man. I couldn't believe it. I've never seen a team play like that.
There was they didn't care. No, there was no care at all.
That's what was the alarming part. It wasn't an expectation to think Man U was going to steal a point or anything like that. That wasn't the expectation. The expectation that it was going to be a match, a battle, especially because they took 5 the first time. Right, so they showed absolutely no fight. Yeah, they showed nothing.
Incredible. I just couldn't believe my eyes, because I was watching. I was supposed to go to practice. I kept watching and watching and watching. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? You know, but it is. I mean, I didn't know they were that bad, but they're pretty shambolic. They won't make top 4 playing like that. I'm sorry, they just won't make top 4.
Yeah, Harry, after the match, we're going to be on. Yeah, we're going to do a post-match. If the guys are available, we're going to do a
post-match. Fingers crossed, man, win this game. Because you know what I want to win this game, Patrick and Vader, because we win this game, we play first on Saturday. We beat Watford 4 points clear, which again puts more pressure on them. And then it just gives you less games to play. And so they're more focused on. And the next one is Leeds. And then they have to go to Newcastle. And then, then they have Tottenham. We have, I think, I'm not sure it is again. So it just creates that.
Well, right now, to be honest with you, I'm seeing there's no this, the other guys' ties are difficult. Every tie is easy for everybody. I think everybody has to win their ties where it's going forward. And I'm pretty sure our players know that you have to win all 7 games. Even Klopp has said it openly that if we don't win all 7 games, we're not winning this title. So same as Man City. If we're not winning all those 7 games, just know that Liverpool have it. So anyway, guys, that's everything. What's the prediction before you go, Gundo and Vetter, after you've seen the lineups and just knowing yourself that these boys will be up for it? What's the prediction?
Vader.
I think I sound like a broken record. I think when we talked briefly over the Easter break, I think I'm expecting an early goal within the first 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And I do see the team. I've always seen a 2-0 professional, in control, managing the game defensively by possession. That's how I see it.
Okay, cool. So there's Charlie says, great show. Thank you very much for being here, Charlie. Daniel, everybody, Big Morgan, Harry Mills, everybody, Vetter. 3-0, he says. And then Harry Mills says 2-0. What about yourself, Carl? 7-0?
I think this could be 2-0 or it could be 4-0. I mean, it could be, right? But I'm going to go with the nice conservative 2. Give me 2-0 all the way to the end of the season. I'm fine.
I'm going with a 3-1. I think 3-1.
Who scores first?
I don't know. I just feel like a dunk headers one in, and then we wake up and get back. So anyway, just
wait, hold on, Patrick. Are you saying they score first or we score first?
Yeah, I just feel like there's just gonna be a dunk header because our backline is the height is we're too short. Let's avoid. Going forward, Pep was right. let's avoid set pieces and corners, because I looked at our team. Oh my God, we're short.
You know the funny thing, Patrick, is that the funny thing is that when I coach my kids are short too, and I tell them avoid corners. No corners.
And you also have to block your line, isn't it?
Yeah, no corners. No corners. Tell my kids, don't concede any corner. Don't kick it out to touch it, to throw it. Don't, because they're short. Again, I took it from Pep again with our team, right?
Vilton, stop it, please. Big Mo says, okay, cool, guys. So, guys, I'll see you after the game. Hopefully, we will do a show after the game. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channels yet, subscribe to Vader Games. Good channel. Get him to 50. Get him to 50. He's got very good content. It's
55. Unique. Get me to 55.
55. No, are you going to 55 now?
Yeah.
Did you reach 50 yet?
I hit 51 today.
Well done. Well done. Okay,
job,
then get him to 55. Get him to 55 by subscribing to the channel. Pitchpoint, subscribe to Pitchpoints. That's where we do the general shows. And that's it, guys. Till next time, we'll see you after the game. Come on, City.